What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica off the Classy Climb blog. I'm heading to FidCon right now. I'm heading to the airport. Hopefully this GPS won't be on still. What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Coming to you guys today. I'm getting ready to go to the airport to go to FidCon. You know how we do. Now, I had people say, well, Erica, you're always grinding. That's not true. I do a lot of relaxing. But I did have to convince myself today to go to do this. Why? Because when you go to events like this, when you go to conferences, most people there spent money to get there, spent money to get in the hotel, planned their time. These are the people you want to talk to. These are the people you want to connect with. These are people who have money. These are people who want to spend their money. You should be there. Now, there is a group of people. Now, these people are usually older. They go to conferences all the time. They conference every day, every weekend, all the time. Conference-aholics, right? Not a lot of action, but conference-aholics, right? You don't want to be those people. But you definitely want to connect with people who are actually doing things. Now, I saw a clip, but not a ton, of O'Shea and some other people's things talking about late bloomers. And I've talked to you guys about this. This is a millennial generational thing where you have a lot of people who, my friend's in the military, and he literally is a recruiter, and he's like, every day they're getting 32 to 38-year-old dudes coming in there. And everybody's like, no way, Erica, no way. Even Glenn Cameron, when I was on his channel, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, every day he is getting these older men who are just like, you know what, I want to go in, right? Now, by the time you're 35, can your 35-year-old body keep up with the 18-year-old running hard as he can, lungs breathing hard at basic training? Most likely not. And my friend who was 30, he even had a hard time, and he was in perfect shape. I mean, this guy was in perfect shape. And he was like, he got called old man every day. And it was kind of funny. Some of his stories were funny. But that just shows you a lot of people are late blooming. Now, what is late blooming? Late blooming is a person who is coming out on the back end, right? Now, I remember being full of fire and gusto and ready to do things. And I had a friend go, you're probably going to make a ton of money, Erica, when you get closer to your mid-30s or 40s. And I was so offended. I was like, I about cussed, and I'm not gonna say his name, cussed Mr. D out, right? And then now looking back, I almost had to call him and apologize because what he was saying wasn't offensive. It was semi-true. The time he was just saying, some people are late bloomers, some people are actual losers now. And we get away in our society with calling people losers because we're like, that's offensive. Who are you to say that person's a loser? Any day, any moment, they can turn their whole life around. And that is true. Any moment, any day, a person could be in their mid-30s or 40s and do something different with their life. That is true. But they have to make the decision. Because if life is forcing you to make the decision, and I have a cold, so my voice is a little groggy. If life is forcing you to make the decision, then it really, there's a level of degree of the pain of change and the pain of staying the same. And some people, it's that pain that's forcing them to change, which is sad. It should be a slight discomfort, but it shouldn't be an excruciating pain, which unfortunately that seems to be what it is. And a lot of people, unfortunately, in our society, we've kind of allowed people to kind of coast. It's okay. You can coast, you can chill, you can coast. It's all good with the coasting. But then there's that moment all of a sudden. And I've talked about this a lot with my friends. We have a guy friend who's 42, and he's never been married, no kids. And everybody's like, oh. But there's something that happens when him and a group of his friends started getting 41 to 43. People didn't, I'm being careful, because he's a little bit older now. People didn't invite them much to parties. They didn't invite them to a lot of events. They didn't start inviting them to the same things anymore at the level they did before. Because there's this age range as a man where you're seasoned, you've got skills, you got all this potential. But when you're talking about 40 to 50 years old, you're kind of set in your ways. You're kind of set with what you're going to do with your life. And people acknowledge that. Now, many people say, no, Erica, no, men forever can be the amazing. But listen. It is just what it is. There's a certain age where you're kind of set in your ways, and what you're going to do, you're on that trajectory course to do it. Same thing with women. I mean, a lot of women, they get to a certain age, it's like they're on the course they're on. They're going to go get some cats or something like that. Again, I know people are going to say this ageism, but literally I noticed the lack of people inviting them to things, and I thought, well, what's happening? And it's something about that potential. In America, we have this big potential, like potential. But when people start hitting 40 plus, they've started carving a pathway through what? Habits and patterns. And unless they start doing different habits and patterns, then that's the path they're on, right? Now, I noticed another guy of ours was 45 and he lost 50 pounds. He stopped smoking. He got a motorcycle. He started going traveling more. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, what you doing over there? Because it was something had changed the pattern. Now, this isn't to be devolved into conversation about relationships and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, what I wanted you guys to understand is some people are late bloomers. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're get tired of seeing these like KFC, like the KFC man started 65. No, that is disrespectful to the KFC man's legacy. KFC man had like 7 different careers before he retired and started frying chicken. You know, Warren Buffett, all these people now. There's a book called The Illusions of Entrepreneurship. This is a great book. Please go get it. That's a lot of where I back it up. Illusions of Entrepreneurship. And the number one business person in America, number one, is a 44 to 48-year-old man starting his first business, and it's a low-tech business. He's usually married, and his wife usually works. And this is the number one. They've studied this over and over and over. Why? Because 44 to 48 years old, not only are you seasoned, okay, but this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where if you was going to do it, you better do it. You know, all these 20 and 30 somethings you see, I'm proud of them. That's great. That's good. But I really like to speak out there to people who are in their 30s to 40s, because if you're going to do something, now is the time. There's a book called The Power of Now. And it's the real deal, because you will never be as young as you are now, as debt-free as you are now, as carefree as you are now. Now is a great time to start. And, you know, the reason I brought the men and the age thing up is because that same friend, he's at work at Dale, and he told me, he was like, yeah, I'm at work with a bunch of 40-something-year-old guys who are engineers who think, you know, just paraphrasing, that, you know, they thought 40 would be like, woo, I got all this money, I got a house. Again, but you're still 40, bro. I remember being 28 and thinking 35 was, I was like, oh my God. So imagine if you're 40 trying to like date down, hang out with younger people. I know people are gonna be like, oh, Erica, you're being ageist in this video, and that's fine, you can. But let's just be honest. I'm just hanging around long enough to see Erica get married now, baby. Thank you, I appreciate that. That's on the plan this year. Now, and the thing of it is potential. There's potential in late bloomers, and people see it. But there's gotta. You don't just all of a sudden fall out of your bed at your grandma's house at 50 and go, I'm starting anew. No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. And the reason I'm going to all these conferences and seminars is the people in that room have chosen. No, 26 isn't too late. No, that's very young. That's very young, honey. 26 is very young. The people who have chosen to spend their money, go to this conference, get a hotel, get a rental car, do all these things. That person, whether they want to be there or not, because I was kind of tired. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this today. If they're there, honey, they're open to the opportunity of making more money, growing their business, scaling their business, doing some big stuff. And that's why I keep telling you guys, listen, if I have events in your city, you better be there, because not only, you're not just doing it to come see me. It's not about me. It's about the people who are going to be in that room. That when I'm in Denver, October 5th, when I'm in Dallas, October 12th, I promise you, the people in the room last time event, I had something with Andre Hatchett. They were in there connecting, getting ready to plan to buy something together. I got to follow up with them, see if they bought it. But that's what people don't understand is, it's the people who take that extra initiative to go. Yes, science and technology will help people grow more gracefully, for sure. I'm not knocking that. But if you're a 50-year-old dude or woman who ain't been doing nothing positive, like, I hate to say this, but I actually know a person who lives with her parents, and she's literally 50. Her daughters went to school with us. Her daughter's like 31. And her daughter even said, like, I don't know what's gonna happen to my mom when my grandparents die. Because she ain't doing much. She ain't accomplishing much. So yeah, technology may help you live longer, but what kind of quality of life are you having? You know what I mean? Like, another great book people should read is A Purpose-Driven Life. You know, I get it. In the Manosphere and other channels and other places, people are all like, oh, you know, Erica, you know, none of this matters. It's a waste of time to get married, have kids, and do all this stuff. I'm sorry. This is where you're going to see in 10 years a lot of people, unfortunately, having high suicide rates because they never committed to anything. They don't have any purpose. They're the guy at the Austin City Park with 4 dogs out there. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like, it doesn't work like that. You have to have purpose in life. Sorry. But anyway, again, there's a book, and I'm trying to remember it so hard, but it just hit me to my core where it was like, if you're 35 to 50 years old and you're financially struggling, like bad, like, you know, paycheck to paycheck, you know, things are getting repossessed, all this stuff, like real bad situation. They're like, your 60s, 70s, and 80s are going to be horrendous. And also, coincidentally, that same time period, 35, I think 32-ish, 32 to 50 is when the number one people that started buying multiple real estate properties, like when they start tracking the census and the data, those were the age ranges where people started buying multiple properties. So then they were like, if you're 30, don't worry, you can be, you know, it was a great book. But at the end of the day, the point of it was, there's nothing wrong with being a late bloomer. How do you get tickets? It's on Eventbrite, but it's also will be in the links when I've rendered this video. But yeah, Purpose-Driven Life. It's a good book for a reason. You need a purpose. You need a mission. Being broke is a full-time job. Honey, it is. Being broke, I remember this girl always would tell us, you ever seen Tiffany Haddish in commercials with Living Social and Groupon and stuff like that? I remember this girl used to know every like little happy hour place, every little cheap place, every little, hey, they got $2 drinks over there, they got this, they got that. And I would laugh because she would always have the hookup, right? She'd always know where the good spots were, right? But then I remember thinking, like, something about this is sad to me, because she's spending so much energy and time knowing where the discount places are. She could probably use that time in a better way. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Now, if you got 4 or 5 kids, I'm not knocking you if you're using Groupon, Living Social. That makes sense. You know, I remember our friends got married and they wanted to go on their honeymoon and there was a special on Groupon. That makes sense. But if every day you're on there scalping and scanning every day, goodness, that's a lot of energy. That's right. You know, these people driving the airport, okay, they don't know how to get over here. Well, and that's the thing. I was telling this guy, the reason the friends I have that got married in like 5 and 6 months, their life, I'm not going to say it was perfect. I will not lie to you all. But most of it was put together. Making good money, low debt. It was easy decision to make. Easy decision to partner, I'm going to get married. When you come into people's life and they got all this drama and dysfunction and stuff going on, you like, ugh, I ain't trying to take on that problem. And that's the difference between a late bloomer and a loser. I hate saying the word because my mom used to get on me all the time about it. But you'll meet people who, Dave Chappelle, I actually watched it. Good recommendation for you guys. It was funny. And he was talking about his friend who was in law school, got married. She divorced him, took half of what he had. He didn't have nothing. And then he was working 10 years at Foot Locker in his 40s. And he was like, ugh, you know. And I laughed because, you know what? At least that man's going to work. But again, don't let potential fool you where you're like, well, he was in law school. But again, what happened with it? So, Thank you. I appreciate that, Hebrew. But yeah, and so, my thing I'm telling people is people, the habits make the difference. The habits make the difference. And again, I keep seeing these articles that blow my mind. Like there was a woman with like 5 kids. And what happened to her? Oh yeah. So she had 5 kids, and there was a road race, and she got out the car. And I'm like, are we for real? Like, if you got 5 kids, unless your car is absolutely damaged, do not get out the car. Stop the confrontation stuff. And the other person shot her. Now, is it right that the other person shot her? No, but again, if I'm a mother with multiple kids, I'm not getting out my car to beef with you. Now, also, I carry the heat, so I'm not playing that either. But I just value my life. I have more going on than that. And that shows you probably a long list of bad decisions being made. Period. Long list of bad decisions being made. So, again, it's hard for people to... Yeah, Six Stones was hilarious. I'm gonna go sit my happy self down. I'm just telling you. Yeah. I mean, no, I do know a girl who went and she tried to do the bar like 2 or 3 times. There's nothing wrong with starting over. There's nothing wrng with starting over. Let me make it clear. Just in case somebody comes back and watches this and be like, Erica being mean to older people. No. But there has to be a mission and a purpose. And when people are sitting here like, oh, I'm grinding, I'm out here doing all this, and their life has no results. Right? Where because honestly, I remember there was a video they were saying, they were like, everybody, you see this man, shame on this man. And I was like, what happened? So I watched the video. It was a woman living in a hotel for 1.5 years, and the owner kicked them all out. Now, first thing I said is, okay, I'm looking at the room old girl in. I know I'm not supposed to be judging her, but the room look a hot mess. She look a hot mess. And I'm like, first of all, if you're working a job and you're living in a hotel for 1.5 years, it's a weekly stay. I know there are a lot of people who get trapped in that weekly stay living where they have just enough money to pay that weekly stay, but not enough money to save. But that's the problem. If you are at the position or point where you are in a hotel living, every day you need to be working 2 jobs. I don't need to see your face. You don't need to be on YouTube. You don't need to be on Facebook. You don't need to be anywhere but working and stacking that paper and paying off whatever it is. Because the first thing in the comments, people were like, well, Erica, she could have eviction or this or that. I said, yes, all those things are possible. But once you've gotten to the position where you are living at a hotel, it is time to snap out of it and get focused. There ain't no drinking, there ain't no partying, there ain't no smoking weed. There is going to work, paying whatever bill is preventing us from getting in an apartment, mending whatever relationship we need to mend, so that we can do what? Move on with our life. Now, what do I mean when I mean mend relationships? I remember my friend worked at the homeless shelter, and I actually volunteered there helping people do their resumes. There would be grown men there who had whole wives and families, and you would say, hey, is there a way that your family can let you come back and live with them? And the short of it is, most of the men were like, I'd rather live on the street than go back and apologize to that lady or whatever. That's just a paraphrase. A lot of them were like, F that lady. I'd rather not do it, right? And it's one of those weird things where you're like, you're at the point of homelessness. Is it that bad to be there? If it is toxic, hey, do what you got to do, but don't be in this homeless shelter with so much pride that you don't want to apologize. That's crazy. and it didn't look like the woman had any kids. So I'm like, baby, you ain't got no kids. It's just you, and you in a hotel, honey. You got to do what you got to do. I remember there was times when people were like, Erica, why are you working so many jobs? I'm like, because I don't ever want to be in a position where people are like, man, I wish she'd get it together. If people see you working and busting your butt, people are more amped to help you. Do you know how many times people were like, what can I do to help you, Erica? What can I help you to do to advance? There was a lady trying to give me a $70,000 a year job because she was like, you are always busting your butt. What can I do to help you? People, and that's the thing, when these people, I was looking through the comments earlier, and I always try to remind myself, delete the stupid comments, ignore the comments, because a lot of these people ain't going nowhere with their life. And of course somebody's talking smack, and I'm like, you watching these videos, and all these videos usually talk about our business, investing your money, making your money stack, and you got all this shit to talk. It's sad, because it just shows me like, that's a loser. That's just the short of it. That guy's a loser. If you're watching these videos and all you got out of it was something smart ass or negative to say about how I look or weight or whatever, that's a loser. That's not a late bloomer. There's a difference. A late bloomer is some guy who'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, I don't, you know, there's no, you know what I mean? You watch it and keep it moving. That's the difference. You know, I was watching another channel and the guy was like, well, I work my job and I live over here. I don't live with them people, and I can come on the internet and talk crap if I want to. That's a loser, bro. That's a loser. I'm sorry. That guy is not a higher thinking guy. That guy does not qualify. These are the people that are out here saying, I'm out here looking for high quality women, but are you a high quality man? And for my women, I'll say the same thing too. I'm not out here looking to marry The Rock, because I ain't equivalent to what The Rock would be looking for. The same thing goes for your life. You guys people want to, you know, listen. And this girl might see this, so I'm gonna be careful. But there's a girl, I come in there, and I love that UPS store, but old girl done had a baby. Okay, you know, when you have a baby, sometimes you gain a little weight. She's a different girl. Okay, she's gained weight. 2, she's the manager now. And I'm like, congratulations. But her whole mindset is, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Turks and Caicos. I'm getting ready to go to St. Lucia. I'm getting ready to go here. I'm like, wait a minute. You done had a baby. You the manager here at UPS store. Wait a minute. You need to literally be just stacking cash. And I go, where's your baby at? My mom's watching her. Well, what was your mom doing before that? She was going to school for nursing. So now you've stopped your mom from going to school to nursing because she has to watch your baby. And you talking about going to Turks and Caicos? You talking about going on vacation? No, honey, no. The priorities are wrong. Priorities are wrong. So just because somebody's going to work, which a lot of people love throwing up in the comments or when I'm on other channels, well, I go to work. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make money to take care of yourself. Do you want a cookie for that? Again, there's a book, the one Glenn Cameron always talks about, but it's really good. It's The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I'm probably going to listen to it again while I fly on the plane. People out here in low-level living and thinking they should be rewarded for low-level living. I just don't even understand. I don't. So, anyway, I love y'all. Y'all crack me up in these comments, and I'm going to read them when I get there. But again, I would say, no, I would say yes and no. It depends on the level. Blue collar millionaire, no. A blue collar millionaire, no. I've been to a lot of events, construction and whatever related, and the men folk in there were like, what's up, baby? Talk to me. But a lot of them own construction companies or trucking companies. It's not necessarily a looking down thing. I would say some of it's status. Some of it is like, you guys would be surprised. If you went to some of the banquets and dinners I went to, the wives look real average as hell. They're usually the first wife they married when she was younger, but she look average as hell now. You know what I mean? Like, and they got money together and they live their life. 90% of the time when these people talk all this smack, it's a man who's made the money before he got married. Just saying. From my personal experience going to all these conferences and banquets, them wives look average as hell. Way more than you guys would think. Way more. Oh, I'm too uncompassionate. Okay, well, thanks. Just totally unlit the channel. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Oh, whoops. Not this one. I mean, I'll read these comments. I really can't see what you're saying, so you're gonna have to wait till I'm gonna close this out, and then I'll look at it when I get inside the airport. So again, thank y'all for being here. But again, there's a difference between late bloomers and losers. Late bloomer may be somebody who's been consistently with good patterns and habits, just taking longer to launch off. or may launch off in a second career. But there's a difference, okay? So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Thank you guys for the comments. I will be reading them and commenting after this renders. Thank you.